Hey guys, my name's Nate and I'm the Otter Outdoorsman. And today I'm joined by Marcus from the New England Bushcraft organization. Today we're going to be talking about the New England Bushcraft Show that's going to be coming up, along with we're going to get to know Marcus a little bit more. Marcus, why don't you tell us a little bit about the show again with it coming up?
Awesome. Yeah, first of all, Nate, thanks for inviting me to join you again on your channel. Hey everybody, so super excited. We're about, I think it's about 5 or 6 weeks away. I'm not entirely sure, but about a month, let's say. More than a month, who knows. Anyway, it's April 28th, depending upon when this video goes live. April 28th is the date of the show. And things have really progressed. You know, we're getting a huge turnout. I looked at the locations where all the ticket holders are coming from, and we now have people coming in from every state of New England, as well as New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. So this is really turning out to be the sort of go-to show for the northeast of the US. In addition to that, almost on a weekly basis, I just keep getting people reaching out to me that are either program providers or local schools or local bespoke vendors saying, hey, I want to be part of your show, tell me how I can get involved. And so we're just kind of keep adding to the content that's going to be there. We have over 30 hours worth of content right now. We've got the Bear Grylls Survival School, we've got Earthworks programs, we've got North Camp Survival, we've got Estella Wilderness Education, we've got a phenomenal lineup of speakers and programs and skills providers. We've got companies like Fjallraven, Tent TP, trailer tents, South Shore trailer tents, the Hidden Woodsman, variety of other really cool, bespoke, local vendors from the new Northeast and New England market. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's really grown a lot since when we did this, our last interview in November, but also even when I filmed the last video as well, and I'm really looking forward to the next show.
Yeah, we're I mean, actually, to be honest, right now I'd say, you know, roughly 5-6 weeks away. Pretty much everything's locked down. I can't really do too much more tweaks because it's just going to be painful if we keep it reiterating. So I'm kind of locking it in. But you know, we're on the venue. It's a 22-acre site, and you can look at the interview that we did back in November. That was at the site where the show will be, and so you can get a feel for what it looks like. I've also got a video I made and put on my Instagram account, which you can link out to. What I'll do is I'll make a blog post on the organization blog, so you can see that. But that was a video I made driving around the site. So just to put it in perspective, this is a wooded, forested outdoor location. It's had 22 acres cleared so that they can then set up space for outdoor events. We have a 1-mile circuit loop that's kind of like a gravel road that goes in an oval that will enable you to go from the Bushcraft Village to the base camp to the Overlanding Expo to the vendor stations to the food and drink area. And there's actually a new announcement I do need to make is that we've got a partner that's joining us that's going to run children's and kids and youth programming. So for people that are 10 years old and older, you're more than welcome to get tickets and participate in the workshops and work with the instructors. If you're under 10, or if your kids are under 10, we now have a dedicated space that we're calling Kids Corner that's going to have programming throughout the day for youth. And this particular company is called Outdoor Woodland Learners, OWL. They're based in southeastern Massachusetts, and they're going to have instructors throughout the day running sort of experiential learning experiences for these kids. So there'll be you know, something for 3-year-olds, for 5-year-olds, for 8-year-olds, for 10-year-olds, kind of build it up throughout the day. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. So you had a couple of questions you wanted to ask me.
So what are you looking forward to at the show most?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm putting the effort into making this show a reality here for us in this community, because I want all of it. Yeah. This show is kind of a personal reflection of my interests. Like, the reason why there's going to be the Ural New England off-road motorbiking people there is because I covet that bike. The reason why Malcolm is there with the Hidden Woodsman gear is because I kind of love Malcolm's gear. Like, I'm kind of piecing together an outdoor programming and show and experience that is made of everything that I want and to participate in. So I'm gonna, to be honest, all of it's phenomenal. I'm really excited. You know, there's a number of celebrity outdoorsmen and outdoors people that we have in our community in the Northeast, and I'm so excited that they are passionate about the New England Bushcraft Show, that they're coming to share their experiences with us. So I'm really looking forward to meeting again with Zach Fowler and having him do his class on how to make a slingshot, and he'll be showing people how to do that. We've got Alex Rebar, who's also from Maine, who's been on the Alone show as well. He's going to be showing us how he has a primitive hunting style. It's going to be really cool. There's Mitch Mitchell, who I put a video out last week about him. He's going to be showing us about celestial navigation, which is really cool. And then Frank Grindrod and the team from Earthwork Programs, they're going to be talking about natural cordage and friction fire, and making fire without using a naked flame, which is cool. And it's actually something I've never done. I've never made friction fire, so I'd like to learn that.
It's a treat.
Yeah. And let me think. Estella Wilderness Education, these guys down in Connecticut. This guy is a phenomenal resource with regards to primitive hunting and trapping. So he's going to be showing us about primitive hunting techniques, and I'm going to say this wrong. I think it's called an atlatl is the name of it, but it's some kind of a primitive throwing hunting device. You should look it up, Google it. I'm not familiar with it, but he's going to be running a workshop on that.
It's a throwing spear.
That's what I thought. Yeah, like a throwing spear. Yeah. Actually, somebody that really resonates for me is North Camp Survival. Again, a Connecticut-based program, but their camp is in New York. And the thing that I really like about what Steve Lancia is doing is he's going to be running this class on the rules of three. So really the mindset about what you need to care about in a survival situation. That I think is important, because when I talk to a lot of people about survival, about bushcraft and the outdoors, often we jump straight to the, must get a knife, must shoot, must kill, must be able to get water and build a shelter. It's like, well, actually the most important thing is probably situational awareness and first aid, because if you've got an injury, you'll die before you're going to be able to put up a shelter or get out of the woods. I mean, so one of the reasons I always carry a little first aid kit around with me. I've got this little tin. It's got my first aid kit in it. It's got basics. It's kind of like my EDC of what I need in case I cut my hand, in case I need to start a fire, whatever. But the most important thing I found is that medical knowledge. And so Steve's program is going to be talking about wilderness medicine, or what he calls bushcraft medicine. So that's going to be cool too. So I've given you a full list. The reason being is I love it all. I'm so excited to see all of them.
I'm looking forward to seeing it all too. It's going to be a fun event.
Yeah.
So one of the other things that I really love to I'd love my viewers to hear is, how did you get into the outdoors, and how did you get into bushcraft and all of this?
Yeah, it's funny. So I don't remember if there was ever like a switch that flicked in my head that kind of made me say, oh yeah, bushcraft is my thing, right? It's something I want to do or get involved with. But I can kind of piece it together as a story. I think many of us can. I've been hearing a lot of the same things from people I asked that question to. Yeah. But for me, I can trace it back to early childhood, and I remember always being interested in sort of the military style stuff. So I had like a lot of toy soldiers as a kid. I had like the British version of a GI Joe. It was called an Action Man. And I used to do drawings that were of like the military, tanks and soldiers and stuff. And so as I grew up and got a little bit older, I wanted to get involved in what's called the Cadet Force, which in England, I never went to the Scouts program. I went into the Cadets. In the UK, it's kind of, I think it's like what I think over here in the States you might have the Young Marines program. It's kind of similar to that. My high school in the UK was a military high school, and so throughout my early experiences in my school, I was out camping and hiking and rock climbing and abseiling and rappelling, as you would call it, and doing a lot of wilderness camping. I used to do competitive hiking trips and competitive 2 and 3 day overnight expeditions, really. And so I did all of that stuff through my mid and late teens. When I got to about, I would say it was about 16, I got really enamored by Ray Mears. I had the SAS Survival Handbook, had a lot of these other kinds of resources that kind of sort of kept building my passion. And one story I love to tell is that my school, this is probably a little bit younger, maybe 13, my school did a show and tell where you could bring in something that you were passionate about and share it with everybody. And Jimmy might bring his hamster and Johnny might bring something else. Like I brought a bivy bag, a tent, my sleeping bag, my knife, my small literature library that I had collected up on all these like survival books. Like that was something I was really passionate about back then. And my parents were great about it. Like they used to take us on camping holidays and let me just go off into the woods by myself for hours at a time, rather than having to like structure everything that we did. So I kind of built up from there. But you know, for me, this show that I'm involved with and this group of people that we're building, this community we're building, this is sort of me coming back to it now, because I will admit it's been close to 10 years that it's been sort of a back burner activity for me. I've always enjoyed camping and going out and doing wilderness stuff, and I've had jobs in the past where I've been able to do that, but it's been a number of years that I've not had that in my life. And so by being able to do monthly bushcraft meetups, which is where we are right now, by the way. We're at Wells State Park in Massachusetts with the community. We've got a bunch of people up there, and we're at this bushcraft meetup. We do this once a month. This is great. It's a great chance to get back outside, meet new friends, and share skills and learn from each other.
Yeah, it's meetups like this. I mean, it's great because we can kind of just have fun, hang out, do a little bit of bushcraft, eat good food.
Yeah.
Best thing about sometimes I find with bushcrafters is sometimes we won't do as much bushcraft as we'll do cooking and eating.
Hey, if it's being cooked over a wood fire, I consider it bushcraft.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you go home hungry, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite part of bushcraft, or using the bushcraft skill?
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to answer that in a slightly different way. So to me, bushcraft is about a mindset, not necessarily about specific skills.
Same way to me. So
yeah. So the way
it's fine.
Yeah, the way I think about it, I actually forget who I said this to recently, but to me, getting involved in bushcraft is about opening up your mind and being able to sort of be like MacGyver, if you know that TV show, being able to think outside the box and see the opportunity for what something can be, being able to improvise and create the tools, items, whatever it is that you need at any moment from what's around you. The more knowledge you have, the more capable you will be at doing that. Like right now, if I had a headache, there's no way I'd be able to go and find some willow and then work out how to extract the active ingredients out of willow to be able to deal with a headache or toothache, right? I'd have to resort to Western medicine for that. But that skill does exist, and people do have that skill. I'm on a journey to maybe learn that in the future. But right now, I'm pretty, I can think outside the box quite well. I think bushcraft has enabled that in me from an early stage to be able to improvise and create innovative solutions to things. I can remember in many jobs I've had where I've done field work, people always used to refer to me as the MacGyver, because I'm the guy that had the Swiss Army knife and the roll of duct tape and a couple of rubber bands and a toothpick and could kind of jimmy something and make it work. And I think that comes from my interest in bushcraft. I really do. I think they're hand in hand. This ability to kind of not be intimidated about trying to do something and just trying to work it out and try and give it a try.
I call it doing. I've been wording it more like doing what you can with what you have.
Yeah.
And what you know. It's kind of the way I've been wording it lately.
Yeah.
And that you put it very well. It's pretty much how I would have said it myself.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
And there is a whole bunch of skills, right? So, and it is possible to create a skills sheet.
Exactly.
And say, can you do this? Can you do this? And you can certainly evaluate your capabilities, but it starts from a position of a mindset, and that enables you to create skills. So I know, like when I used to work in a high school outdoor program, we focused a lot of time at trying to get the youth that we were working with into a mindset of being in the outdoors before we were trying to get them to learn and develop skills. It was more about getting into that mindset of being outside and looking at your surroundings and your environment.
Yeah, and it's a good feeling to be able to have out here, and I always try and encourage people to learn a bit more. Same as with that.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming onto my channel to answer some more questions.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
I knew some of my viewers wanted to hear a bit more.
Yep.
So
cool.
Thank you for coming on.
Well, and one more shameless plug. Come to the New England Bushcraft Show, April 28th. I've given Nate a discount code, so probably below here in the comments,
it'll be in the description.
there will be a link, and you'll be able to use his discount code as a reward for being part of his channel to participate in our event this year. So looking forward to your participation.
See everyone. Remember, get outside and have some fun. See everyone.